Yes, I know the playoffs are going hard right now, and trust me, I do have a lot to say about it, but I just wanted to take a moment here to step back and talk about the teams that maybe missed the mark a little bit and who I think will come into contention next year. I have my dog with me. We're ready to go. When thinking of teams that will probably make us sweat next year, five teams come to mind: the Detroit Red Wings, the Pittsburgh Penguins, the Minnesota Wild, the New Jersey Devils, and the Calgary Flames. Starting out with the Detroit Red Wings, they ended this season 41, 32, and 9. The Wings were my most frustrating team this year. The addition of Patrick Kane seemed like the last piece they needed to finally make that playoff push. And it looked like that they were going to do that for the majority of the season. They were looking really good. But with injury to Larkin and some issues on the defensive depth, they really just couldn't get together. And thanks to some bullshit by the Capitals, and thank you to the Flyers, they missed the playoffs entirely, which was not really expected. I really thought they would be a shoo-in for at least the first round, but couldn't get together when they needed to. So I'm really looking forward to seeing them with a full year with Larkin and a full year with Kane again, getting that gel together, because they really looked hot when Larkin was back in the lineup the last half of the season. So if they add some defensive depth in the offseason and work on the defensive systems, I think they could really make some other teams sweat in the playoffs next year. But it's all just down to the defensive. They live and die at the defense at this point. Then over to the Pittsburgh Penguins. They ended the season 38, 32, and 12. Oh, so close yet so far with the Penguins. On paper, they seem to have everything they need to make that playoff push. But the main problem they think they need to overcome in the offseason is getting Crosby some help on the offense. I'm not entirely sure what their future plans are. I would think they want to make another playoff push in the Malkin and Crosby era, but with that recent Gunzel trade, I'm just not sure. This is one of the teams I'm least sure about in this video. While yes, they have some amazing players, and they could definitely fight for a playoff spot, their core is not getting any younger, and they don't seem to know entirely the situation that they're in. I think that they definitely need to face reality sooner rather than later. If it's not going to happen next season, I think that a rebuild is necessary. I don't think Crosby is going to sign long term. I don't think he's got the age for that. Same with Malkin, and arguably with Carlson as well. I doubt that they'll sign longer than like 2 to 3 years, if I had to guess. So if it doesn't happen this or next season, the clock is surely running out. So I think Dubas will have to face reality that a rebuild is inevitable. And for Pens fans, let's hope that he realizes that sooner rather than later. But if they really want to keep with this core, if they replace Gonzalo on the offense and they get some blue line help for Carlson, I definitely see them making one last push in the Crosby era. And the ticking clock on Crosby and Malkin, that's going to add some fire under the ass of the boys. So then with the New Jersey Devils, they ended their season 38, 39, and 5. The Allen trade was just too little too late for the Devils this year. If they made that trade earlier on in the season, they definitely would have fought for playoff contention. Allen looked like the piece they needed in the last half of the season there. But they really, really needed goaltending early on. Their goaltending issues were very apparent early on. So next year, a full season with Allen, and maybe even going out and still fetching that Markstrom trade and making Allen the backup for Markstrom, they could be a really, really dangerous team. And maybe adding some defensemen in the offseason as well. There's a few defensemen on the market that I think that they could really use. So yeah, get a goalie, get a defenseman, and they could be absolutely deadly next year. Then with the Minnesota Wild, they ended their season 39, 34, and 9. This team lives and dies on two men, Kirill Kaprizov and Marc-Andre Fleury. Those two players have been carrying this franchise into relevancy for the last 2 to 3 years now. And with Flower announcing his retirement after next season, the boys are going to be fired up to make that one last deep playoff push for him. And in the playoffs, Marc-Andre Fleury is just a different animal. So I think if they do manage to get over the hump and get into the first round, that they will be a tough out. I don't think that they're going to be necessarily a walk-all-over team. I think that they can be beaten definitely, and they probably will be. But I also think if they add some help on the offense for Kirill Kaprizov, and if they get some help on the back end, then they could definitely make at least the second round. I can see that happening. They haven't made the second round in God knows how long at this point. It seems like decades, probably is decades at this point. So I think the boys will really want to make that playoff push for Flower. I really hope for his sake. I love Flower. Who doesn't? So I guess we'll see. This is maybe more of a hope pick than it is like a realistic pick. Then finally, the Calgary Flames. They ended their season also 38, 39, and 5. What's to say about this team that hasn't already been said? If mediocre had a logo, it would be the Flaming Sea. They finally seem ready to enter the long-awaited rebuild, but again, I'm not sure just because this future pieces they do have in one of their elite prospect pools, they don't really seem to want to use that much. Dustin Wolf only gets started if someone's injured. Pospisil gets bounced around the AHL and NHL like a blunt. If they actually start to use their elite prospect pool and fetch a good defenseman for Markstrom, and for God's sake, give Hubie some counseling or something because he really doesn't seem to be into it, they could definitely, absolutely make the playoffs next year. And I can totally see them making people sweat in the first round, unless they meet the Oilers in the second round, and then they're totally screwed again. But for the Flames, it might honestly be the best case scenario that they don't make the playoffs next year, just so they can finally face facts and face reality that a rebuild is necessary. Thank you all for watching. This was just kind of a quick little video I wanted to throw together and kind of go over some teams that I'm going to be keeping an eye on for the next season. Yes, I know the playoffs are going crazy. Home ice advantage is in full swing unless you're Dallas. And also, my bracket's looking great right now. I'm really, really happy with it. I hope you guys enjoyed the last podcast. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. The Oilers absolutely stomped the Kings. I'm so happy about that. I really miss bullying the Kings, and I'm really happy that that's back. Say hello to Nala, everybody. I'll get her on screen here because everyone likes a dog, right? Doesn't YouTube love a good dog? She'll even cooperate with me. There she is. See, look at the camera. Look at the camera. Yeah, look at that. A dog. This is Nala. She's been in the corner of every single video I've made. A little behind the scenes action for you there. And she's helped me once again. It's a beautiful day out. Wanted to sit on the balcony. I think I'm going to do this for the foreseeable future because it's entered summertime here. So might as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys really enjoyed. And again, no matter who you cheer for, no matter what's going on in the playoffs, just enjoy them. This is the best time of year. If you're new to hockey and you've never watched hockey before, this is the time to start watching hockey. It is the best time of year. No matter what game you catch, you're going to find some excitement. The Boston Toronto series has been great. It's one of my favorites so far. And yeah, no, like it's just been a fantastic, like that Winnipeg Colorado game one. That was crazy. 6 goals in like first period. It's just insane. So yeah, thank you guys again for watching. Enjoy the playoffs. Have fun out there. Best of luck to whoever you're cheering for. And yeah, bye.